The talk is about Sikhism, and Sikhism being an original, मतलब वो अपने आप विच एक ऐसी चीज़ हैगी है जो कदे भी दुनिया दे विच किसी ने अगे नहीं देखी सी ना देखणगे. So it's an original. उसदा पहरावा, उसदा होंद, उसदी बनतर, it's distinct. मतलब it is so different from everything else. It is also अकाल पुरख दी मौज दे विच बनी गई. It's a revealed religion. And above all, it is a complete religion. इस दे विच कोई घाट नहीं, ना कोई वादा, ना कोई घाट है. It is absolutely pure and complete. This is what the talk is about. And I would like to say right from the beginning that जो भी मैं कहूँगा मैं उससे माफ़ी नहीं मांगता, क्योंकि it is going to be based on the revealed word. क्योंकि इस गुरबानी दे परथाए ए discussion है, उस चीज़ दी मैं माफ़ी नहीं मांगता. I am not going to apologize stating the obvious, which is गुरबानी. पर इस दे विच there is not meant to be an offense to anyone else. We're not trying to offend any other religion or dharm. But because Gurbani is a revealed religion, a revealed word, revealed का मतलब होता है कि तुरो आई है, अकाल पुरख दी आप बोली हुई बानी है. So इस वास्ते उस चीज़ दी माफ़ी मांगना अनुकूल नहीं है, ठीक नहीं है. पर अगर मेरे को कोई भूल हो जाए इंटरप्रिटेशन दे विच, या मैं मेरे आप दे मत अनुसार मैं कुछ कह दवा, उसी चीज़ मैं हुनी पहला माफ़ी मांगदा. सो मनु खिमा कर देनी. I ask for your trust that you will forgive me. Anybody want to give me a definition of their definition of what a religion might be? What do you think is a religion?
An institution.
Institution?
A way of life.
A way of life?
I can't think of it.
He can't think?
It's a way of life. Way of living.
Way of living.
Path to find the way to God.
Okay, so we've got a few ideas of what religion might be, and which is fine. Some people would say, in the terms of Western thinking, it's the way you practice something. It's the way you practice certain rites. It could be that you belong to a certain group. That could be a religion. Or that you follow a certain behavior, even that is sometimes considered a religion. But एक और लफ्ज़ आ गया अपने गुरबानी दे which might be used for religion. What is that word? हाँ जी? धर्म. Yeah, धर्म. And the simple translation of धर्म is? नहीं, simple translation of धर्म दा बस मतलब आम पंजाबी दे विच धर्म दा मतलब की duty, rightful living, righteousness, सच्चाई, सच्चे रास्ता, सच्चे रास्ता अपनाना, उसनू कहंदे ने धर्म आम बोली दे विच. ते but what is धर्म according to Guru Arjan Dev Ji? Guru Arjan Dev Ji कहंदे ने सर्व धर्म है श्रेष्ठ धर्म. सारे धर्म तो सब तो श्रेष्ठ धर्म की है. What is the best religion of all? गुरु साहब कहंदे ने हर को नाम जपना, अपनी सोचनी प्योर रखनी, ते जो काम करने वो भी प्योर रखने. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू गुरु अर्जन देव जी धर्म की जो कोई डेफिनेशन है, तो धर्म की डेफिनेशन ये है नाम जपना, अपने ख्याल बिल्कुल सच रखने, ते और अपने जो कर्म ने व्हाट यू डू एंड व्हाट यू थिंक मस्ट बी प्योर इन एक्शन, निर्मल कर्म. दैट इज इफ देयर इज अ डेफिनेशन ऑफ धर्म, देन गुरु अर्जन देव जी ने कहा कि ये हैगा धर्म. धर्म जो चीज हैगी है वो हर एक बंदे दे विच धर्म है, क्योंकि वी ऑल हैव an essence of a way of life. We all have the ability to follow the right path, correct? So dharam actually sade andar hai, because we are able to follow that dharam. ऐसा समझ लो कि साडे अंदर एक आत्मिक जोत भी है जो है अटल धर्म. जे कोई धर्म है ते धर्म दा सब तो सिरमौक है अकाल पुरख. अकाल पुरख साडे अंदर एक जोत प्रकाश है. सो साडे अंदर एक धर्म है, ते वो जड़ा धर्म है एक शक्ति है, वो एक जोत स्वरूप है जो गुरु साहब जी ने श्री जपजी साहब के मूल मंत्र दे विच किया है, एक ओंकार. बाणी बोलन तो संकोच ना करया करो, क्योंकि ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ कहते पवित्र सुनते सब धन लिखती कुल तारिया जियो कहते पवित्र जेड़े मनुख बाणी नू बोलणगे they will become pure कहते पवित्र सुनते सब धन जेड़े सुनणगे those who listen to Bani are great those who write Gurbani their generations will be saved this is simply listening bowling and writing Gurbani this is how great पारस कला ऑफ गुरबानी इज सो बानी बोलन तो कोशिश ना करो सो के डट के बोलिया करो जे मैं कोई बानी दी तुक बोलांगा ते तुसी डट के बोलो ना सो गुरु साहब कहंदे ने कि मन तू जोत स्वरूप है अपना मूल पहचान के ओ माय माइंड यू आर द एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ दैट सच्चा लाइट डिवाइन लाइट तू जोत प्रकाश तेरे अंदर है उस नु देखने दी कोशिश कर क्योंकि तू उन्हें देखेगा यू विल सी इट एंड देन यू विल रिकॉग्नाइज योर ओरिजिन सो व्हाट गुरु साहब कहते मन हर जी तेरे नाल है गुरमति रंग मान के रिमेंबर दैट गॉड्स प्रकाश जोत इज इनसाइड यू एंड बाय रिमेंबरिंग दैट आल्सो रिमेंबर द गुरु's टीचिंग एंड एंजॉय द सच्चा प्यार मूल पहचाने ता सहो जाने मरण जीवन की सोजी होई once you acknowledge your origin कि you have come from God you shall know about God and then you can understand about this question about life and death what life and death is all about so apna sare da farz banda as human beings plus as Sikhs to identify that dharm apne andar jo dharm hai apne andar jo religion hai asli religion which is ordained by God oh jehdi light hai oh sade andar hai and guru sahib kehndे ne oh my mind recognize that ke tu oh mool pahchan tu us dharm nu pahchan that is the reason why you have come into this world so Sikh is a seeker Sikh word comes from which Sanskrit word simple shisha which is a seeker of something a student the Sikhs are seekers of truth ਤੇ ਐਂਡ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਤੂੰ ਆਇਆ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਮਨੁੱਖਾ ਜਨਮ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਇਆ ਇਸ ਕਿਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ ਗੋਨ ਥਰੂ ਦਿਸ ਬਿਫੋਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਭਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੇਹਰੀਆ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਦਿਸ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਪੁੱਟ ਇਟ ਅਪ ਦੇਹ ਭਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੇਹਰੀਆ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ that this is the reason that you have come nothing else is going to be useful to you join the Sadh Sangat of the holy Sikhs and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਨਾਮ ਜਾ ਤੂੰ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪਰ ਅਸਲੀ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ I have not practiced meditation ਮੈਂ ਜਪ ਤੱਕ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ discipline ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ I have no self restraint or righteous living ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਧਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ and I have not acknowledged that ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਸੇਵਾ ਸਾਧ ਨਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਹਰਾਇਆ ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਮ ਨੀਚ ਕਰਮਾ ਸਰਨ ਪਰੇ ਕੀ ਰਾਖੋ ਸਰਮਾ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੈ This is the prayer that we do every day because in essence we don't do it. We do not recognize that Jyot Prakash inside us. We don't recognize that true path that we would wish to follow knowing that all other things around us are going to be useless. So, in order to understand the origin of Sikh Dharam, we must look at what the world was like when Guru Nanak Pasha Ji came into this world. Guru Nanak Pasha Ji came here about 500 years ago. They ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ what they saw, they witnessed and they recorded it and they discoursed about it, they talked about it ਉਹ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. So Guru Nanak ਦੀਆਂ ਨਜ਼ਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਮਨੁੱਖਾ ਦਾ ਹਾਲ ਸੀਗਾ that we need to understand okay why Sikh ਧਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਿਆ why did Guru Nanak Dev Ji have to come to this world to teach this path to God. And remembering that Guru Nanak Pasha is the ultimate Satguru, he is the true Guru, he is the teacher, he is the ultimate teacher, the master, the savior. There is only one Guru in Sikhism. Baki 9 Jota ne, 9 Jots, but one Guru. He was divinely appointed. O Kal Purkh ne aap bheja hoya, aap tikya hoya Guru hai. Te jisne is duniya vich aake, he came to this world to get rid of the bondage that mankind was bound down with of Maya. So what is the state of mankind? Generally speaking, people always want something. Aapniyan mangaं nahi kade puriyan hundiyan, kade vi mangaं nahi puriyan hundiyan. We want more and more and more. Why do we want more? Because we think that by amassing a lot of other things, we want to achieve happiness. And I remember on Monday, somebody said, okay, the prime reason for living is that people want to become happy. True? We all want to be happy, which is why we do everything that we do. Whether it's buying a car, makan khridna, doing our studies, going to college, whatever it is, it's done in order to become happy, because we think that by doing this course we will become a doctor, a dentist, or whatever, a pharmacist, teacher, and then we can earn money and then we'll be happy. We need money. We can buy a car, we can buy a house. We eat food to be happy. Everything that we do is due to desire. But do you think these desires are fulfilled? Do you think any of our desires are fulfilled? When you buy a car, how long does it take before you start looking at other people's cars? Come on, guys. I know you got your BMs and Mercs out there. Yeah, but once you buy it, you want something else, don't you? Right? You got a 5 Series, then you want a 7 Series, isn't it? Then you got your Mercs, and then you want a sports Merc, then your coupes. Yeah? And then suits. What about the suits that we buy? Yeah? £20, then £30, then you look at somebody else, £90, even that doesn't mean anything. Then you want to go for 150 and then say, oh, 250, so what? Kar lo, ek dafa khareedna hai, le lo. Yeah? Doesn't matter. Kyunki aap ye manga nahi puriya hundiya. And which is the reason why we are in pain. Guru Sahib kehndे ne nanak dukhiya sab sansar. So this maya, this illusion of happiness, this illusion that asi koi cheez le lavange and we will become happier is an illusion. And I want to take you through very quickly of what Guru Sahib says the state of the world is. Guru Sahib kehndे ek jaga tuhe ka pahar. It is like a smoke, it's just a puff of smoke. It's not really there, it just vanishes after a little while. Like the shade, that sun comes and the shade is there and then it suddenly disappears. Guru Sahib kehndे ne tan sampe maya sanchiye ante dukhadai. That in the end, all of this will cause pain. Wealth, property, will bring pain in the end. Homes, mansions, palaces, houses of unknown value. It will never go with you. You may breed horses of different colors. You may have, could be reference to BMWs and Mercs and of ultimate colors and engine sizes. It will not be of any use. Right? Guru Nanak Pasha Jan Nanak Naam te aaya, Gurmukh Sukh pai. It is only through Naam, blessed by the Guru, that the Gurmukh remains in peace. All the rest is an illusion. It is Dukhadai illusion. So, Guru Sahib kehndे ne, okay, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, ke even vade rajan aur pooman ta ki trishan na buji. That even the kings, the landlords, and there are plenty of landlords even among you, because we've suddenly learned, the Sikh population, the Indians, that you can buy houses and rent them out and become very rich. And I know of a lot of little groups of Sikhs who've got together and they're buying houses because they want to become really wealthy and hopefully happy. But we know that will not cause happiness. We know that. Okay, Guru Sahib da Atal Bachna, it will not bring happiness. So, desires, kings, landlords, Guru Sahib kehndे ne, are never satisfied. Bikhiya mein kin hi tript na pai. Kise ne bhi tripti nahi pai. Nobody has been satisfied. So, Guru Sahib is shabad which kehndे ne, people have become intoxicated by wealth. They are blinded by this illusion of maya. And there is no satisfaction in sin and corruption. Because all of this leads you away from God. Definition of maya. Quickly, definition of maya. Anand Sahib Devich. Hanji. A maya, jit har visre. What is maya? We talk about maya, we're not talking about money, we're talking about this world of illusion. Guru Sahib kehndे definition, Guru Amar Das Ji. A maya, jit har visre. Anything that makes you forget God is maya. Whether it's your wife, your children, your exams, your cars, your houses, anything. Anything that makes you forget God is maya. A maya, jit har visre, mo upje, that you become attached to it, mo upje, pao, duja laya, and that you forget God's respect and you start respecting other things and done of other things more than God itself. That is maya. And I would say that everything that we do, except for Naam Kirtan, Bani and Sachi Seva, everything is Maya. Or sab kuch Maya hi Maya hai. But the Guru has taught us a pure path, oh hagi Gurmat, leading a way that is being taught by the Guru. And I will show, hopefully in the next few minutes, that this is a perfect path which leads to fulfillment and true happiness. Yehi sacha dharm hai. Nobody likes anything to be incomplete. Koi bhi adhuri cheez kise nu bhi changi nahi lagdi. If you were to wear trousers without a zip, would you wear them? You sure? Check. Okay, he's alright. He's alright. Would you wear a shirt without buttons? They're supposed to have buttons and buttons are missing. No way. Would you go out with a suit that has or the scene ni changi lagi hui the whatever? Would you wear it?
No.
No. Why not?
Because I don't know.
Why would you wear it?
Because it doesn't look nice.
Because it's not nice. Who says it's not nice?
Well, you think it yourself.
You think it yourself, or others will look at it and say?
Both.
Both. Yeah. Because it doesn't like. Would you drive a car with 3 tires on it?
I wouldn't be able to drive it because
You would be able to. Yeah, but would you?
no.
Would you wear shoes without laces on?
No.
No, they'll come off and you. Actually, she hasn't got any laces. All right. So, कहना मतलब है we will never do anything that is not complete. अधूरी चीज कदे भी किसे नु चंगी नहीं लगदी. Yeah. Why is it के अधूरे बंदे ठीक है? Why do we accept people who are not complete? Nothing else is complete and we don't like it. You will not do it, you will not wear it. Would you go to a college where it gives you a degree that you don't actually pass at the end because they don't give you a certificate at the end? You would never do it. We will never take on something that is adhuri. But asi apni zindagi, we are very satisfied to accept everything that our life is our life is incomplete and we are okay about that. It's okay. Where we are able to take on a way that is incomplete. Well, that's not good enough for Guru Sahib. Guru Sahib ne ਉਹ ਪੰਥ ਰਚਾਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਬੋਲ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਾ ਕੀਆ ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਪੂਰਾ ਵਾਦ ਘਾਟ ਕਿਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਪੰਥ the Guru's way is not more not less, it is pura because it has been ordained and been mastered by the master of all masters, Akal Purkh himself. So we are not happy with being incomplete with anything. And my question to you is, why do we accept things that are incomplete within yourself? Remember the circle we drew about our lives which are unbalanced? Yeah? We accept it. It's okay. We don't exercise. Right? If we become ill because our weight is increasing, we become obese, diabetes and blood pressure, we say it's okay. We accept it. It's all right. Once a month we are so unbalanced, so we have accepted to be incomplete, and that is a state of sleepiness, of just going to sleep and not thinking about it. So I want to nudge you a bit and say, okay, why do you do that? Why do we do that? Guru Sahib then looked at, before we look at why Sikhism is complete distinct religion, want to look through the eyes of Guru Nanak, okay, what is man? What is the state of humankind? The Guru Sahib dasde ne, I'll go through this. See Rag Mahla Pehla, Guru Nanak Pasha Ji's Shabad. Lab Kutta, Kood Chuda, Thag Khada Murdar. So Shabad is there. So Guru Sahib is saying that greed is like a dog. How many of dogs are here today? How many dogs are here today? Yeah, there are a lot of dogs here today. Yeah. How many are filthy street sweepers who lie? How many of us lie? झूठ बोलना एक राव रीति बन गई है अपने समाज विच. In our people, Punjabis, to say, to speak lies has become a part and parcel of our lives. We lie here, we lie there, we lie at work, we tax evasions and this and come car here, there, everywhere. Even in gurdwaras and this and that, we tell all these sort of lies and lies and lies. But Guru Sahib says that lies is like filthy street sweepers. What about cheating? How many of us are eating rotting carcasses? Guru Sahib says cheating is like people eat dead bodies. What about ninda karni? Ninda is like eating others' filth. That is like, filth. You understand what I mean? Yeah? Eating others' filth. So I couldn't find a proper name for it. I could have done some medical term here, but I left it at filth. Guru Sahib कहते निंदा इन्नी माड़ी है, it is like किसे दा गंद खाना. What about how many of us burn others' bodies, dead bodies at the crematorium? Anger. Guru Sahib कहते anger is like people who are outcasted and have to burn dead bodies. Mari Misan de which Arthina Sadhana is like anger. Te Guru Sahib कहते ने कि in this way we are all trapped in the rust of it all. How many of us really feel great when you've done a bit of ninda? Feels good, doesn't it? थोड़ी चंगी निंदा होगी, yeah? चंगा बंदे नु रगड़ दो, थोड़ा खोर थोड़ा मार दो. And थोड़ा लाई करके थोड़ा खोर लाई कर दो. स्वाद आंदा है विचो. It is rust. The Guru Sahib कहते ने कि in this home, in this self-conceited praise, these are my actions, O my Lord. So these are the actions of an imperfect man. And again Guru Sahib that's रहे फिर रस सोयना, रस रूपा, कामन, रस परमल की वास. These are the kind of ras that we enjoy. Pleasures of gold, of silver, money, of women, of fragrances, of horses, of having good mattresses. How many tried to change the mattresses? Because they were a bit, soft furnishings. And eating changiya rotiya, gulab jamna, rasgulle, and then tidni parda and say want more and more. Guru Sahib कहते ने कि sweet and meals. Guru Sahib कहते ने कि okay, ठीक है, साडे विच रस है ने, but then how on earth can Vaheguru be inside you when there is all of these ras inside you? When there is no other place for it left, how can Guru come there? If you've got all of these already full up in yourselves. So plentiful are the pleasures of the body. Keh kat naam nivas. Ete ras sarir ke. Keh kat naam nivas. How can God dwell in your heart when all of these are already there? So that was looking at man. What about the society in general? Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj da farman hai, now fakire padshah Murak Pandit now. And in this Shabad, Guru Sahib says that beggars today have become kings and rulers. And I would say if you look around you even now, in every state, in every country of this world, this is the truth. This is the ultimate truth which Guru Nanak Dev Ji through Guru Angad Dev Ji has said. Beggars are kings and rulers. Blockheads have set themselves as scholars. They're actually stupid, ignorant people. Guru Sahib कहते those who think that they're dealing with gems are actually blind. This is the style of living in the world today. He says scoundrels and mischievous men have become leaders. And this is true. Again, apne leaders with chati maro. Look at our leaders. And Guru Sahib कहते ने illat ka now chaudhary, kudi pure thao. And that this is a liar has become to be known as a perfect man. And Guru Sahib कहते ने such is the character of the day we live in, this Kaljug. But in this Kaljug, only the Gurmukh, jehde Gurmukh naam japan wale, rehat wale Sikh ne, they know this. And only they know the true path. So the true path was shown by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And this was a mission that Akal Purkh aap Guru Sahib nu tik ke as a Guru sent Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah to this world. Guru Sahib कहते जय सौ चंदा उगवे सूरज एते चानन होंदिया गुरबिन को सतगुरु नानक प्रगटिया मिट्टी धुंध जग चानन हुआ सुनी पुकार अकाल पुरख ने पुकार सुनी. Mankind in this state was so much pitiful that God listened to the pukar of the world. Guru Sahib Bhai Gurdas लिखते ने सुनी पुकार दातार प्रभ Guru Nanak जग माहे पठाया. That is the reason why Guru Nanak Dev Ji was sent to this world. What is the core belief of Guru Nanak Dev Ji? And you know this. And we underestimate our Mool Mantar. When we talked about Naam, let me also say that जिथे मैं दर्शाने की कोशिश की थी कि नाम जपन कितना जरूरी है. This is what Guru Sahib is saying. It's not stopping you from reading Bani. Bani utni hi lazmi hai. It is as important to read Bani and meditate on Bani as it is to do Nam Simran. Because Gurbani is the lighthouse. Gurbani will show you the way. Nam is in essence your duty as a human being. But Gurbani is the light. It's a lighthouse. Gurbani ne hi thonu Akal Purkh de kol le jana hai. Gurbani is the light. And that light in essence is in the whole of the Guru Granth Sahib, is in essence of the Mool Mantar. Te Mool Mantar nu japna koi choti gal nahi hai, bahut vadi gal hai, which is why the Gur Mantar is Vaheguru, Mool Mantar is Mool Mantar. It is the essence of Sikhi. Te eda vi abhyas karna onna hi lazmi hai Sikh nu. And within it is the essence of all of Sikhi. That Sikh ik hai, Akal Purkh ik hai, Guru is ik Onkar. Satnam, our whole life of a Sikh is about truth. Satnam, Karta Purkh. He is a Akal Purkh creator hai, Akal Purkh Karta Purkh hai. And Gur Sikhs are unique in the sense that they create things for the whole of mankind as well. They are without fear, nirpau ne, nirvair ne, they are without hate, just like Akal Purkh. Guru Sahib कहते हैं हर जन ऐसा चाहिए जैसा हर ही होए. A Sikh, a human should be like God himself. Har jan aisa chahiye jaisa har hi hoye. That is what a Gur Sikh should be like. That is what man should be like God himself. And what is God? He's here. Ik Onkar, Satnam, Karta Purkh, Nirpau, Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni, Sahibhang, Gur Prasad. It is realized through the Guru's grace, as we talked about last time. Now, I want to look at what is it about Sikhism that is so unique. Bearing in mind that Guru Padshah was transparent and frank. Bilkul muh fat jawab. He was nirpau. He was nirvair as well. He wasn't being mean to people, trying to undermine them or condemn them. He was being honest and frank to them, which is why he stood up to people like Babur. At a small age, he went to Babur, a Mughal, like the worst Taliban you could ever dream of, father of all Talibans. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji goes up to Babur and says, "Ke tu Babur, tu Jabbar hai, you're an evil man." And he got, I would say got away with it, but he had the gall to be honest and direct. And so Guru Nanak Pasha's Sikhi uprooted deep-seated hypocrisy. They rejected all the prevalent religious practices, jitne bhi hor atarmi dharam san, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ reject ਕੀਤਾ. He formed a unique, separate faith of his own, and this was done not by himself because he felt like it. He woke up one day and he said, "Oh, I think I better form a new religion here." And he woke up and he went around the whole world trying to teach it. He didn't do that. He had no business to do that. God called him. So Guru Nanak, through the 9 gurus, which were his Jot, showed all of this. And I want to take you through their own words, through Bani, of this mission to uproot and reject all the other faiths that were there. So, what is this faith? Number 1, that Guru Nanak Pasha Ji showed that there is only one supreme God. And you might think, oh well, that's old hat now. But you'll be wrong. If you look at Christianity, if you look at Islam, if you look at Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and every kind of isms there are in the world, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਇੱਕ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਦਾ ਐਸਾ ਢੰਡੋਰਾ ਐਸਾ with zeal, nobody has done that kind of prachar except for Guru Sahib. And right in Japji Sahib, he broke away all of this rubbish nonsense that was existing at the time, that there may be this God and that God, and this God made the lightning, and this God did this, and Hanuman came and struck this water, and this earth was made, and so on. And so right in Guru Sahib's Pehli Bani, Japji Sahib, Guru Sahib कहते हैं कि गुरमुख नादं, गुरमुख वेदं, गुरमुख रहस्यमय, गुर ईसर, गुर गोरख बर्मा, गुर पार्वती माई, गुरा एक दे बुझाई, सबना जियां का एक दाता, सो मैं विसर ना जाई. He totally rejected the existence of other small gods and deities that could have created the world. And his belief was in only one true God. Bilkul ik sach. There is no other that can stand in front of him. In here, Gurmukh Nadang da matlab hai ki the Guru's word, Guru da Shabad. Guru da Shabad hi Nadang hai. Guru da Shabad hi Ved hai. Guru da Shabad hi sare paase samaya hoya hai. ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੀ ਈਸਰ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਮਤਲਬ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ, Guru hi Isar hai, Gorakh hai, Brahma hai. These were the three deities that the Hindus had created the world. And Guru Nanak Pasha said, nonsense. There is no such thing. There is only one God. Guru ne manu ye samjhaya कि there is only one God. None other than that. So Guru Sahib then went on to break the hypocrisy about the creation of the world. He says, all right, Pandits, right? If you really know that when the world was made, then why didn't you write it in your Purans? Then if the Muslims had known about it, why didn't the Qazis write it in their Quran? Waqtna payo katiya. When was the day? Why didn't the yogis write the month and the season for the creation? Because that's nonsense. To deliberate on these nonsensical man-made theories is nonsense. I watched a documentary pichle hafte about the Roman Catholic Church and how for almost 1,000 years they went through so much problems because each century went along and then Einstein came along and then Newton came along and they challenged all the so-called prophecies within the Bible and the Old Testament. He did a simple experiment. वो कहने कि सारी धरतियाँ इस धरती के आले दुआले घूमदियाँ ने. That Earth is the center of the universe. And Galileo and Newton and all of these people proved them absolutely wrong. And this is supposed to be a divine religion in which the truth is embodied in the Testament and in the Bible and in the Quran and in the Quran. And Guru Sahib, 500 years ago, which telescope did Guru Nanak use? Did he have a telescope? Did he do some experiments? No, because God told him. God told him that this is nonsense. Guru Sahib rejected all of this. And Newton did an experiment. They said that the rainbow was also of divine origin. Ke Rab ne a rainbow banaya. And Newton says, okay, so he poured some water in his mouth and he spat it out with a light coming out from a prism. And when he did that, when the splattering of his washed out water from his mouth, it made a rainbow effect. And do you know what they did? He was he used to live in a monastery. A monk actually found this out, and then Newton took this up with experiments in prisms and so on. They imprisoned him and killed him. वो कहने कि तू झूठ बोलदा है कि ये तो साडे बाइबल विच लिखा है कि तू कौन है कहने वाला. And then they had to change all their thinking. But Guru Nanak Pasha has remained absolutely true and firm to this day. And do you know, recently they found another planet in this galaxy? Yeah, they found another planet, haven't they? Well, you know, if they had actually talked to Guru Nanak Pasha, and if they look at the Bani, they would realize that they're wasting their time. Guru Sahib rejected claims made by Islam and Hinduism regarding creation because he said that these were just suppositions and assertions. This useless waste of time. Don't do it. Which is why in the Guru Granth Sahib, you won't find these things. You won't find how many words there. Guru Nanak doesn't go into those things because Guru Sahib says these are suppositions. Only God can know what is out there. And he revealed a practical way to live a truthful life, devoted to serving the Akal Purkh by meditating on Naam. So Guru Sahib again says in Japji Sahib, ke patal, can everybody say this? Okay. Now, the reason I asked you to say it is because we also need to be good in grammar. This is not patala patal lakh agas agas. It is patala patal lakh agasa agas. Okay, that is where the comma is. Patala patal lakh agasa agas. There are worlds and worlds and universes beyond this. Haji. From what I've learned, that may be so, but from what I've learned from run away into the mountains, those who just want to remain silent, those who do not want to get married, and they think that some spirituality attached to that, those who are sannyasis, those who are udasis, who live in detachment from the world, those who form the Hindu praises, those who read the Veds, those who go about the world naked, those who don't even sleep, who think that by sleeping they will be led away from God, those who bathe in pilgrimages, those who do fasts, those who are hermits, those who call themselves wise. Guru Sahib कहने के इतने ज़्यादा लोग ने और अपने आप में कोई भी घट नहीं खांदा. Nobody says that he is any less than anybody else. They all say we are better than everyone else. In this Shabad, Guru Sahib says no one admits to any deficiency. They all say that they've reached God. but Guru Sahib aap keh rahe ne, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, that I have abandoned all of these above. All of these above I have abandoned. And what have I done? I have sought the sanctuary of the true Guru, Guru Nanak. So Guru Pasha Ji kehndे ne कि all of these things lead you to absolutely nowhere. And addressing the Manmukhs, the Muslims, Guru Sahib ne is shabad de vich, Guru Nanak Pasha Ji da shabad hai, allows everybody to pay attention. Thoda, it won't take too long, and then you can meet your friends and then have a look at other things after this. But Guru Nanak Pasha Ji, as shabad which they are addressing the Muslims, and if you read through it, there's one line that I want you to pay attention to, and that is Sare Sariyat Kare Bichar Bin Buje Kaise Pave Par. Some think about religious rituals and regulations. Musamana de which Quran ta ek paase reh gayi, but Quran to upar they look at their book called the Sharia. That is the code of conduct, and it was through the Sharia that Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj de chote sahibzade nu jehdi tasir de ke shaheed kite gaye san, they referred not to the Quran, but they looked at the Sharia and said, what does the Sharia say that we should punish the Guru Sahib's children with? So Guru Nanak Pasha Ji says to them, ke, of what use is all of this? Without understanding, how on earth are you going to reach God? Let sincerity be your faith, and instead of bowing down to a certain place, there is no benefit in this. And Guru Sahib's conclusion from this Shabad, that he has rejected the code of conduct of the Muslims, Shariat nu reject kita gaya. Guru Sahib has also rejected their facing the Kaaba. They all over the world, they face this one way. The Guru Sahib कहते हैं कि थोड़े अंदर sincerity नहीं हैगी, थोड़े अंदर धर्म नहीं हैगा, थोड़े अंदर संतोख नहीं हैगा, दया नहीं हैगी, तुसी एक पासे सिजदा करी जांदे ने, ओदा की लेखा? What is the point of that? So Guru Nanak has rejected that in his Shabad. Guru Sahib also advocated sincerity in prayer, and his reference was that God is everywhere. The reference is to Kaaba, that God is not just in this one place that you call the house of God. And in the next Shabad, Guru Sahib Paath Padhyo or Ved Vicharyo Nival Puyangam Sade. Guru Sahib says that the Veds, the sacred texts of the Hindus, yoga, the cleaning techniques of controlling the breath, you cannot escape from the five passions, which is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh. This is not Pyare, Invid, Milan na jai. How simple can Guru Sahib say it to us? He says, by doing this, you cannot reach God. Pyare, Invid, Milan na jahi, main kiye karm aneka. I have done all of these. I have seen it all. You cannot reach God by doing this. You cannot reach God by becoming silent, or being naked, or begging, or visiting pilgrimages. Because duality, dubda, can never go away like this. You can give as many gifts as you like. Apa samne ke daan deke na sade paap utar jange. Guru Sahib says no. You can literally donate £500,000 for a Gurdwara to be built. If you think by doing that you'll be saved, you're wrong. Because kam kartuta koi hor hon, te paise tusi de den. Guru Sahib says no. Giving gifts, charitable donations, no matter kitne bhi charitable hon. This is not saying ki don't do it. Guru Sahib कहते हैं कि निर्मल कर्म होने चाहिए ने. Nirmal कर्म होन, the right action, you can do whatever. That's fine. But if you think by just giving that you can reach salvation, Guru Sahib has rejected this. Guru Sahib has rejected the giving of gold, women, horses, elephants, corn, clothes. He says it will not lead you to God at all. Guru Sahib has also said in this one Shabad that by doing puja, by doing all this matha tekna, doing 84 postures of yoga and extending your life, you cannot escape life and death. You can also be royal. You can be a prince. You can be wealthy. You can live in beautiful palaces. And Guru Sahib says all of this will lead you to the gates of hell. So the conclusion in this Shabad, Guru Sahib कहते हैं हर कीरत साध संगत है. The ultimate action that needs to be done, and it is a true path, Guru Sahib says हर कीरत साध संगत है सिर कर्मन के कर्मा. That by singing kirtan and gurbani in the presence of the Guru and satsang is the highest action of all of these. Then all the above is rejected. Guru Sahib, Guru Arjan Dev Ji कहते हैं in a different Shabad, karam, taram, pakhand jo dise, tin jam, Jagati lute. Says Kot Tirath Majan Ishnana. You can go to thousands and thousands of tiraths and pilgrimages. Kot Tirath Majan Ishnana is kalme man prije. The more you do of these pilgrimages, the more filth that you acquire. It's the opposite to what people think that's going to happen. Guru Sahib कहते Ved, Katev, Simrit, Sab Shastra in Padya Mukta na hui. How simple can the Guru's message be? If you ask me, oh, what will happen to the Hindus now because they read their Shastras? Or what will happen to the poor Muslims now they read their Qurans? Well, I'm sorry, but Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Ved, Katev, that's the Hindus' Shastras and Veds. Katev is the Muslim books. Ved, Katev, Simrat, Sab Shastra, in Padya, Mukta na hui. That if you read these books, you will not get salvation. Can that be more straightforward? Can it be any more straightforward than that? By reading these books, you will not achieve salvation. And in the end of the Shabad, Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Gurmukh Naam Jape. By repeating the Naam through Guru Nanak's Bakshish, Gurmukh Naam. Gurmukh Naam Jape Udre, so kalme kat kat Nanak Manja. By repeating Naam through the Guru's word, it is the only way to salvation. So Guru Sahib also rejected the notion of tiraths. And we will quickly look at this. He says, you may chant and meditate, practice austerities and self-restraint, and dwell in sacred shrines of pilgrimages. As you plant, so you will harvest, and you will waste your human life away. Sins cannot be washed away in water. Can that be more clear? You cannot commit sins, ਝੂਠ, ਨਿੰਦਾ, ਚੁਗਲੀਆਂ, ਪਾਪ, ਬਖੀਲੀ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਾਪ ਧੋਤੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ. ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਧੋ ਕੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਾਪ ਉਤਰ ਜਾਣਗੇ? Guru Sahib has rejected this. Instead, Hardeep Singh said on Monday, ਭਰੀਏ ਮਤ ਪਾਪਾ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਧੋਪੇ ਨਾਵੇ ਕੇ ਰੰਗ. You cannot clean your sins or your souls by going into waters. Tirath Vart Such Sanjam Nahi Karam Taram Nahi Puja. Pilgrimages, fast, purifications. These are empty worships. Guru Sahib keh rahe ne. Guru Sahib keh rahe ne Tirath Nata kya kare? Man mein mail guman. What use is having these going to these pilgrimages when your mind is full of filth? What about all of this? Guru Sahib says, Ke kare vibhoot lagave pasme. By putting dust on yourself, you think you can become pure? Guru Sahib says, no. Antar krodh chandal so home. Deep within you, there is anger and home. How can you clean your soul by doing this? Pandit pakhand kine jog na paiye. Bin satgur alakh na paya. Practicing hypocrisy, yoga can't be obtained. Without the true Guru, you cannot find God. What about Kundalini? I know many people have been practicing Kundalini yoga. Guru Sahib says, Nyoli karam puyangam pati. Inner cleansing techniques to clean the energy to raise your Kundalini to the 10th gate. Guru Sahib says, Rechak, Chumbak, Purak, Manhati. Inhaling, exhaling, holding the breath. Does that afford you any blessing? Guru Sahib says no. Guru Sahib says by empty hypocrisy practices, you cannot find taram. It is only through the Guru's word. Pakhand taram preet nahi. Harsyu preet nahi harsyu gur shabad maha ras paya. It only through the Guru's shabad can you achieve this. What about shaving your head? How many children their heads are shaved when they are born because it is deemed purification? The Muslims do it, the Jews do it, and I think that some parts of some Catholicism and Christians do it also. And Hindus, of course, yeah. Here's my friend. And Guru Sahib says, Ke moond mundaye jo siddh pai, then what about all the sheep? What about all the sheep? They get shaved off every season. Why haven't they found God? Nagan fird jo paiye jog ban ka mirg mukt sab ho. Guru Sahib says that if you think by becoming naked, then what about all the animals in the world? Why haven't they found salvation? And Guru Sahib says, Bind Rakh jo tariye pai. That if you think by not having children, by being celibate, that you can reach God, Guru Sahib says that why haven't the transvestites reached God? Yeah, he says, Khusre, kyun na paramgat pai? Khusre nu kyun nahi rakh milya? Je tusi कहने कि शादी नहीं करनी, व्याह नहीं करना, ओ बड़ा गुरमुख है, नहीं तो व्याह नहीं किता, वाह, ऐसे बच्चे नहीं ले, नहीं तो एक अपनी औरत दे नाल कोई संग नहीं किता, he hasn't had any relationship with a woman, oh, he must be चढ़दी कला Sikh, he must be a real Baba, पजामा नहीं पांदा. But Guru Sahib says, okay, if you think कि बिंद राख जो तरिए पाई, then what about the khusre? Khusre ने क्यों नहीं राख मिलिया? Guru Sahib कहने, Guru Sahib ने आप शादी की थी, आनंद किता. Guru Sahib ने आप कोल बच्चे सन. They lived a normal human life. They had a relationship with a woman. Why is it so wrong? This is the pakhand that is beginning to exist in our religion.
Can you remind them, there are some stuff they are saying,
We'll talk about that in the discussion. I've got a few things more to go ahead, and I'm going to steamroll in the next 5 minutes. Bhagat Kabir ji कहते हैं कि why have you shaved your mind? Somebody asked कि Bhagat Kabir ji might have been a Muslim, and I'm going to quote Bhagat Kabir ji now, and you tell me if you think he's a Muslim. Okay? Kabir ji says, okay, you have not shaved your mind, so why do you shave your head? Right? Whatever you do is done through your mind. Why don't you shave your mind? What about pan, sapari? Guru Sahib has rejected the use of all intoxicants, drugs, alcohol, tobacco. Has any other religion in this world condemned these except for Sikhism? No one. If Sikhism had been taken up as the true path 500 years ago, we perhaps would not have seen the scourge of AIDS, HIV, hepatitis, cancer of the lung, cancer of the liver, alcohol, hepatitis. These are all due to these drugs. No other religion bans them. And I did say right at the beginning, why do we settle for something that is not complete? The other religions are not complete. Sikhism is the only complete religion in and out. All of these things have been condemned by the Gurus. Guru Sahib has also rejected Islamic practices. He says that where have the Hindus and Muslims come from? Who put them on their different paths? Think of this and contemplate in your mind men of evil intentions. He calls the Muslims and Hindus of the time evil. Who will go to heaven and hell? Qazis, have you read your books? Such scholars and students have all died, and none of them have discovered the inner meaning. And Guru Sahib then goes on to say that because of the love of women, that a circumcision is done. And Bhagat Kabir ji says that no, if God wanted me to be a Muslim, I would have had a circumcision done while I was born. But that was not done. You don't circumcise women, and you consider those people who are not circumcised as Hindus. So, the logic is that all you Muslims are actually born from Hindus. That your women are not circumcised, they're Hindus. You are born of a Hindu, and you call yourselves Muslims, of being circumcised? No. Bhagat Kabir ji totally rejects this. Kabire pakri tek ram ki turk rahe pachhari. Bhagat Kabir ji states that Muslims have utterly failed in their effort to reach God. Turk rahe pachhari, and that Bhagat Kabir ji has fallen at the feet of God himself. In this Shabad, Buddh puj, Hindu muhe, Turk muhe sirnai. Worshipping their idols, the Hindus have died. The Muslims have died, bowing their heads to the Kaaba. And in this Shabad, Guru Sahib, Bhagat Kabir ji says, the Hindus cremate the dead, the Muslims bury them. He says the world is like a deep pit, dark. All the four sides, death has it in its grasp. Reciting their poems, the poets die. The Jatataris, they die. The yogis die with their matted hair. Even they do not know Vaheguru. The kings die. The Pandits die. Without Vaheguru's Naam, everything is in ruin. Without Naam, Bhagat Kabir ji says, who shall find God? In this Shabad, Bhagat Kabir ji says that the Hindus and Muslims will all die, wasting their meaningless lives with rituals and hypocrisy. Idol worship is condemned in the Shabad. Bowing your head down towards one Mecca and Kaaba is condemned. Did you know that the Kaaba contains a stone called the Sang Aswad. In essence, the Muslims are actually bowing down to this idol, and the Kaaba actually contained many idols before Muhammad took over the Kaaba. And Haji, Allah, true, Allah was the name of an idol, and so he's called his God Allah. And Guru Sahib has condemned all of this. Without Naam, through Nanak, all of these have been rejected by Bhagat Kabir Ji. And was he a Muslim? I ask you. Guru Sahib has also rejected fasting. And some would have you believe that Sikhs actually accept fast. That is absolutely not true. Guru Sahib says, Chode an, kare pakhand, tajiye an, na mile gopal. By fasting, you will not reach God. I know I have now gone past my time, and I'm going to, if I may just conclude now, I will just go through these extremely quickly and go to the point where I would like to. This Shabad actually talks about halal and that you kill animals, but Bhagat Kabir Ji says, do you really kill? Because when you kill this animal and you say that this has been slaughtered in the name of God, who are you killing? The soul never dies, so who have you killed? What good is this purification act? Why do you bother to wash your face? Why do you bother to bow your head to the mosque? Your heart is full of hypocrisy. What good are your prayers, pilgrimage to Mecca? You are impure. Tu na pak. Pak nahi sujya. You do not understand Waheguru. You do not know his mastery. Says Kabir, you have missed out on paradise. Your mind is set on hell. Was Bhagat Kabir Ji a Muslim? The conclusions from this are as we said. Hajj has been totally condemned in Gurbani. Kabir Hajj Kabe ko jaye tha. Aage milya khudai. This is really quite funny. Bhagat Kabir Ji is quite funny in his writing. He says, I was going along to the pilgrimage to Mecca and God met me. And he says, he scolded me and said, who told you to do that? Didn't you know that I was with you? You don't have to go to the Hajj to Mecca to find me. And this is another one. And this probably is one of the most fundamental quotes that I will give you from Gurbani, and it was written by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And in it says that I am neither Hindu nor Muslim, and it's Pero Mehla Panjma. And I will read this through with you. He says, I do not keep fasts. This is Guru Arjan Dev Ji. I do not keep fasts. I do not keep the month of Ramadan. I serve only Waheguru, who will protect me in the end. There is only one Lord. He is my Allah. Ek Gusai Allo Mera. He administers justice to both the Hindus and Muslims. I do not make pilgrimages to Mecca. I do not worship at the Hindu shrines. I only serve one God and no other. I do not perform the Hindu puja. I do not offer the Muslim prayer. I have taken the one formless Lord into my heart. I humbly worship him there. And then most profoundly, Guru Sahib says, Na hum Hindu, na Musalman. I am not a Hindu. I am not a Muslim. My body and breath of life belong to Waheguru Allah Ram. Says Kabir, this is what I say. Meeting with the Guru, my spiritual teacher, I have realized my God, that I have reached God. If you say that this is quotes from Bani, what about other historical evidence? Moshan Fani was at the time of Guru Sahib. He lived among Guru Sahib, and he writes in his book Dabistan-e-Mazhbi, and he says, he's a Muslim fanatic, he says that Sikhs have no faith in idols. They do not read the mantras of the Hindus. They do not believe in Hindu mantra jantas or temples. They do not believe in Hindu avatars. They have no regard for Sanskrit as a sacred language. What about Bhai Gurdas Ji? Bhai Gurdas Ji wrote the Adbir, and Bhai Gurdas Ji says in some of his words, the Guru's panth is distinct. It cannot be mixed with others. Members of both sects are selfish, that's Hindus and Muslims. Bhai Gurdas Ji writes this. They are jealous, proud, bigoted and violent. Neither shall find liberation from transmigration. They will die and they will be born again. Qazi Nur Muhammad, He was around 1765, and he writes in Jangnama that the manners and the ways of the Sikhs are very distinct. They are not from Hindus or from Muslims. And Qazi Nur Muhammad himself was witness to 1699 of Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj's creation of the Khalsa. Anandpur Sahib Vikhe, Qazi Nur Muhammad was there. He wrote to Aurangzeb, te usnu one ki likhya. He says that Guru Gobind Singh ji ne e likhya. I've translated this in English. He says that Guru Gobind Singh stood among 20 to 80,000 people, and he said these words. This is according to Qazi Nur Muhammad, 1765. He died. He says, I wish, Guru Gobind Singh Karene, I wish you all to embrace one creed and follow one panth, rising above all the differences of all the religions that are now being practiced. Let the four castes of the Hindus lay them down. For them in the Shastras, abandon them altogether and adopt the way of Guru Nanak. Be of mutual help and cooperation to each other. Mix freely with one another. Let no one think that he is more superior than the other. Do not follow any of the old scriptures. Do not go to the Ganga and other places of pilgrimages which are deemed holy in the Hindu religion. Do not worship the Hindu deities Rama, Krishna, Brahma and Durga. All should cherish the faith and the teachings of Guru Nanak. Let men of the four jats receive my baptism of the double sword, the khanda. Eat from the one vessel. Do not feel aloofness from contempt for one another. And this is what this Qazi Nur Muhammad has said. Was this a revelation? Well, Guru Nanak Pasha has said, Jaisi mein aave, khasam ki bani. That as the Lord wishes me to say, so I am saying. Sach ki bani Nanak aakhe, sach sunaisi, sach ki bela. This is the right time for me to say this. And Guru Nanak Pasha ji writes in his own words, Haunta di vekar kare laya. That I was a minstrel without any service. And when he disappeared for 3 days, Guru Nanak Pasha ji says in the Shabad that God took me to himself and assigned me a task. He told me that I am to sing Vaheguru's gun day and night. He summoned me to his dargah, Tadi Sache Mahal Khasam Bulaya. That he summoned me to his dargah, to the presence where God was himself. And he dressed me up in the robes of his praise and glory. What did he give me? Sacha Amrit Naam Pojan Aya. That he gave me this Naam. And I told you that this Naam has come from God. Guru Nanak has told us in Bani that when he went to God on those 3 days and he saw God, Amo Samne, God gave him this Naam. Sacha Amrit Naam Pojan Aya. And then God told Guru Nanak Dev Ji to go and eat from this Naam. Matlab us Amrit nu khao, piyo. Who was the Gurmukh yesterday doing that Shabad? Chim Chim Base Amritara. Yeah? Chim Chim Base Amritara ke Amrit di Boond. It is like dripping. That Naam is dripping and you drink from it. You eat from it. And Guru Nanak says that this minstrel, this study of Guru Nanak has been sent to this world to spread Naam. And Guru Sahib says that in the Shabad that now I have attained God. Now these things about revelation in Sikhism is about not only from Bani, but Guru Sahib has stated, he has disclosed this, he has affirmed this, he has conviction and testimonies that Sikhism is a revealed religion and it is the word of God. Because Guru Granth Sahib Ji actually is the embodiment of the Guru's teachings. Jum bulaye, tyum boliye, ja aap bulaye soye. Gurmukh Bani Brahm hai. The Bani is Brahm itself. The Gur Bani is God itself. Ho apo bol na janda, meh keha, sab hukmai jiyo. And that is why the Guru Sahib then says, Sadgur ki Bani, sat sat kar mano. That, oh my Sikhs, please believe that the whole of Bani is in essence God himself, and to believe it as the truth. So what are the prominent features of this religion? It's a revealed word of God in Guru Granth Sahib. It has a Harmandir Sahib, an Akal Takht, which is spiritual center. It has a nation, the Khalsa nation. It believes in Sangat. It believes in Pangat. It believes in Shabad Guru, the doctrine of a holy word. It has a distinct language. It has a nishan, a distinct flag. It has a legacy of martyrs, of shaheeds. It has a ceremonial sword, a kirpan, a khanda. It has its own code of conduct and customs. And in Gurbani, Guru Nanak says, Nanak Raj Chalaya, such court Satani neev de, that he built this kingdom, this panth, on a true fortress where the foundations are strong. In this faith, the essence is of Naam Japna, Vand Chakna, and Kirat Karni. Guru Arjan Dev Ji himself fed the poor. Gurus have themselves. I don't see any Babe going to the langar and serving langar. Have you seen any Babe going there? Have you seen any of these Radha Swamis and Namtaris and Chuthe Gurus going and serving their Sikhs, serving their devotees? No. Our Gurus did everything. Our Guru Sahibs even Jodia di seva karde san. Our Gurus even gave baths to their Sikhs. Our Gurus even dressed their horses of their Sikhs. This is Guru Arjan Dev Ji serving the Sikh who did the most seva in the Harmandir Sahib. This is Mata Khivi who is serving the langar herself. This is Guru Amar Das Ji who founded leper colony and healed the sick. And this is Guru Ram Das Ji serving the leper colony around Amritsar Sahib. This is Guru Arjan Dev Ji himself doing the seva of Harmandir Sahib. This is Pai Gurdas Ji and Guru Arjan Dev Ji writing the Guru Granth Sahib. And then this is Guru Arjan Dev Ji himself doing the Shahidi, not expecting that his Sikhs will die first. So in an ideal life, what is there for a Sikh? There is Naam, devotion and ultimate devotion to Vaheguru. There is Dan, giving something of themselves, not just money, but something of themselves to other people who need it more than them. There is purity of mind and their body. Apne man nu vi dhona, apne tan nu vi dhona. Which is why aapa shnan karde ne. Seva karni, to serve the whole of mankind, not just yourselves. Simran karna, sacrifice karna tan, man te tan de naal. Satsang karna, to keep the company of other Gursikhs. And what has this given to us? I've written here an assured survival through the revealed word. What does this mean? Can I point this out? This is the last conclusion. That did you know that in Gurbani, Guru Nanak Pasha Ji has prophesied the kingdom of Sikhism ruling the world. That one day, that the earth, this earth, is going to be ruled by the Shabad, and that all those people who take refuge in this Shabad will be saved. And all those who don't take refuge in this world, in this Shabad, will not be saved. But Guru Nanak Pasha has gone one step further. He says there will come a time, ek din avega, is Kaljug de vich, that everybody is going to be saved. How will they be saved? They will be saved through the Guru's word. Guru Sahib has said, there is no other Dharam besides Guru Nanak's Khalsa Dharam, which is true. The whole of mankind will be saved through the Guru's teachings, and one day, through the word, through Naam, the whole of the world will be saved. And you ask me why? Where? Guru Sahib Dasrane Choho Juga Ka Hun Nabeda. Now, this is the essence of the teachings of the 4 ages for the human race. The name of the one Lord is the greatest treasure. Nar Munukha nu ek nidana. Jat sanjam tirat ona juga ka dharam hai. Kal mein kirat har nama. Celibacy, not marrying, self-discipline with yoga and pilgrimages were the essence of dharma in those past ages. But in the dark age of this Kaljug, the praise of the Lord through Naam is the essence of the true religion, dharma. Jug jug apo apna dharam hai. Sod vekho, dekho Ved Purana, each and every age has its own essence of dharam, of religion. Study the Veds and the Purans, and you will see that this is what even they say. Gurmukh jini tyaya har har, jagte pure parwana. It is only the Gurmukh who meditate on Vaheguru in this world that are perfect and approved. And Guru Sahib says, Eko Dharam dirde sach koi. There is only one religion of Dharma. Let everyone grasp this truth. Kise nu vi plekha na pave कि दुनिया दे विच कोई 2 धर्म ने. There is only one धर्म, एको धर्म. दृढ़ सच कोई, वो केड़ा है? Gurmat Pura Jug Jug Hoi. There is only Gurmat Pura Jug Jug Soi. There is only one Dharam, and that is the Dharam of Guru, the Guru's way. The Guru's teachings show the true perfect way, and this is the way it is of all the ages. And Guru Sahib ne fir ek shabad de vich akhir de vich kya hai ke Kal Jug Udharya Gurdev. Kal Jug Udharya Gurdev, that the whole of Kal Jug has been saved. Mal Moot Moorje Mugda Hote Sab Lage Teri Sev. And in this Shabad, Guru Sahib says a time will come when God appointed the Dharam Raja, the person who will keep accounts for all of us. He will sit there and he will tear up his papers and say to God that everything has been finished. I have no work to do now because Guru Nanak has gone to the world and everybody in the Kaljug has been converted through Naam, and I have no other work to do here. All the lekha has been finished. And this is a Shabad written in the Guru Granth Sahib. And Guru Nanak Pasha Ji has prophesied that one day Dharam Raja will become so amazed and he will go up to God and say, I have no other work done because Guru Nanak has finished all the work on earth and all of mankind has been saved. Can you get another better religion or more inspired than this? I think not. And I'll leave you with thinking about this, and perhaps we can have a talk about this further in the next few minutes. But there is no other Dharam. Let there be no mistake. Ek Vaheguru hai, ek Guru hai. Ek naam hai, ek panth hai. Ekko hi rasta hai. There is no two. Ek Dharam hai, do Dharam kade nahi hoye, do Rab kade nahi hoye. There can be only one path. There is only one path. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਰ ਵੀ ਮੁੰਨ ਲਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹਜ ਵੀ ਚਲ ਜਾਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਹਦਵਾਰ ਵੀ ਚਲ ਜਾਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਾਸਟ ਵੀ ਰੱਖ ਲਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਪੂਜਾ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਲਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਮਾਕੂ ਵੀ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਲਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਵੀ ਪੀ ਲਓ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ? ਕੌਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ? ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਏਕੋ ਧਰਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਭ ਸੋਈ, ਕੋਈ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਪੂਰਾ ਜੁਗ ਜੁਗ ਹੋਈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਗਿਆ ਭਾਈ ਅਕਾਲ ਕੀ तभी चलायो पंथ, सब सिखों को हुक्म है गुरु मानियो ग्रंथ, गुरु ग्रंथ जी मानियो प्रगट गुरां की दे, जो प्रभु को मिल वो चाहे खोज शब्द मैले. There is no other two ways, there is only one path, and you all are destined for that path. You are saved because you have been brought to that path, and I congratulate you. And I am at Guru Sahib de do ardas ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੈਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ. And coming to these camps like that, maybe we will take up the challenge of being on this path that Guru Sahib has shown us, which is the only way to our salvation. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.